Popliteus. Our popliteus is such an interesting muscle in the function that it creates. So before we get into that though, let's describe the popliteus. So it's a fan-shaped muscle. It only crosses one joint, and that's the knee. You can find it along the posterior knee in that popliteal fossa, and it's just deep to the two heads of the gastrocnemius muscle. And if you look at the muscle itself, so it runs in an oblique direction, so a diagonal direction. And again, when we get to the main function, we're going to see that that's super important, that there's a reason why we need that line of pull in that diagonal direction. Let's start with the origin insertion like we always do, but we'll definitely spend a good amount of time talking about the action or the function that the popliteus has. So first, the origin, so it's the posterior lateral condyle of the femur. Its insertion point is the posterior medial condyle of the tibia. Now, looking at the action or the function of the popliteus. Before we get into that, it's really important that we familiarize ourselves with the screw-home mechanism. So if you remember, screw-home mechanism is just a fancy term for talking about how at the end of our knee extension, when we have full knee extension, there's a rotational component that's involved at the joint. So if it's an open chained activity, so that means the tibia is not fixed, that would be like sitting in a chair and kicking your leg forward, then our tibia at that end range of extension actually rotates laterally to get full extension. Okay, then the opposite is true. So let's say I'm doing a squat, so that would be a closed chain activity. That would mean that my tibia is fixed. Whenever I go into full extension at the knee from a squatting position, then my femur rotates medially on my tibia to lock into place. So we use that term lock into place. So when you think about it locking into extension, then we need something to unlock it if we're going to flex the knee. And that's where the popliteus comes in. So it literally unlocks the knee from that extended position. So when you look at the actions here, it says that the popliteus performs medial rotation of the tibia on the femur during the initiation of knee flexion. And again, that would be in an open chain position. And then if we look at a closed chain position, it would laterally rotate the femur on the tibia during the initiation of knee flexion. So the popliteus, its main job is whenever you get into that locked position of knee extension, there needs to be something to help unlock it for it to provide knee flexion, and that is the job of the popliteus. It provides that key, is what we always say. It's like the key to unlock the knee. Then we look at innervation, and our popliteus is innervated by the tibial nerve.